Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late April 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Scorpio gang? In late April 2026. We're moving out of Aries into Taurus season. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio gang in late April. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Get this card out nice and quick. What do we got going on? There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Same thing for Pisces. Wow. Okay, so maybe it is a water sign thing. And this card always makes me crack a smile. It always makes me grin a little bit. It's like extremely smart, very cerebral, big intelligence when I see this card. And yeah, there is something about it because it came out in Pisces too. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. And maybe some of you already know why this makes me crack a smile. It's a goofy looking image, right? We have this monkey. He's dressed up as Shakespeare, got the skull in hand, contemplating life, sitting on a stack of books. There's a typewriter. We got equations and like all binary code in the background. So that's pretty much telling us that that monkey right there is a brainiac, right? Now, in the good sense, this does remind me of the Ace of Swords, where it's like extremely intelligent, highly honed in on the details. This is a great card for seeing things clearly, seeing through illusion. Like that's how this card feels to me. It's like I'm seeing things how I should be seeing them. So there's a lot of clarity. And again, it's like the Ace of Swords, the sword of truth. So it's like it cuts illusion away. So I really like this. This is great for learning things and taking on new information, whatever it might be. So if there are certain things you're trying to add to your mental repertoire, this card will definitely enforce that energy, which I think is great. So it's just very, very smart, straightforward to the point. There's a certain strategic energy around it as well. It's like a genius. Now, the downside to this card, since it is so cerebral, since it is so high up in its mind, this could be overthinking. So for any Scorpio gang that does that from time to time, I think we all do from time to time, but the energy might be a little more susceptible to overthink things or overcomplicate things. So there might be something that spirit wants you to just keep simple and streamlined. So we're just going to leave it at that. Let's get into tarot. He's contemplating his life over here. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. What do we got in late April? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It wasn't the worst reading, but it was titled "The Big Problem," and how it was showing to me was like somebody saying like, hey, why do you have to overcomplicate this? So it's funny that we have this. There was like an energy that wanted to avoid problems, but then we had an energy stirring the pot. It was all very specific. You know, you could check that out after this if you want, if you haven't seen it. But we're going to see what shows up this week. Hopefully there haven't been any problems. I mean, as you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's see what we got for Scorpio in late April. It's only an energetic weather report, my friends. Energetic potential. So what do we got? Okay. So we have the world in position number 1. That's a powerful, powerful energy. Let's get it tucked in here. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's get one more, or 2 more, actually. What do we got here for Scorpio? Okay, quick. 7 of Wands. Yeah, the energy's rocking and rolling. The energy's moving. It's interesting. Like, could these be separate things? It's very possible. Let's get one more. Okay. All right. So these 2 cards came out together. The first one, we got the King of Cups, a.k.a. Kyle of Cups himself without a beard. He's got a cup in hand. He's got his goblet. He's just chilling right there. And then we got the 8 of Cups right here on the back end. So there is this really powerful energy, but I'm not upset by it for some reason. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that informs how the energy flows and it frames the reading for us. We have a nice mixture. I mean, right here in the front, I'm not going to give this one element because it's multiple. Powerful major arcana, big energetic theme, thick energy, right? We got fire and water showing up in two places. Now, when it comes to the fire, that's the realm of action. So the actions that you take, the actions that you want to take, the actions you decide not to take, think of passion, drive, motivation, and desire. Energy levels, health and wellness, that's all tied into fire. The only downside with fire is that, of course, sometimes it could get a little out of control. Sometimes it could be a little explosive. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then we have water right here in the back end, which is Scorpio's power element. It's your comfort zone, right? So, like, even though we have the world and Seven of Wands up here, it's like I'm okay with it, though. So that's very intriguing because it could be separate things. But when it comes to the water, that's the internal realm, matters of the heart, matters of emotion, things, people, situations that we're emotionally invested in and that we care about. Water is highly creative and artistic, extremely intuitive and honed in. So your energetic intuition could be through the roof when there's a lot of water in a Scorpio reading. The only downside, water runs deep sometimes, right? And sometimes water can overwhelm. So we want to keep an eye. But again, these could be separate things or all just one thing. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with a doozy, my friends. We're starting with the World card, and that card is a card of culminations. It is the last of the major arcana in the tarot deck, whereas the Fool is the first. This one's the last. They're bookends to each other. And a lot of readers see the World and are like, oh, yeah, it's an ending. And it can be. I'm not saying that it's not. But I don't see this as like a Ten of Swords ending. When I see the World, I think of, that transitional period, right? The metamorphosis, the change. That's huge when it comes to this. So yeah, maybe there is one chapter closing, but a new one's opening. It's like turning over a new leaf, so to speak. Now, the world itself can also be very karmic. It could speak about the cycles of life, the beginning and ending, like the snake biting its own tail. So I'm not going to sit here and say that there's like a huge ending coming in yet. I still want to see how the rest of it plays out. But to me, it does feel more of like a shift or change in energy. Another thing when it comes to the world, this could be literally world events, what's happening in the world itself. So for some Scorpios, maybe what's going on in the world today is affecting your energy in a big way, or someone you're connected to. It's like a big effect on someone's energetic well-being. So we're going to see what's up with this world. But it's funny, it's like we begin with a card that's classically seen as an ending, and just like I said, it's a culmination. Whereas like the Fool card starts it off, goes through all the major arcana on the Fool's journey and winds up at the World. This is like the finished product. That's a good way to put it. Now, moving to the middle, we have the Seven of Wands. And this card does have some really good aspects, and this card definitely vibes well with Scorpio energy. We see this person, they're up on that wall, kind of like fending people off. Now, in the good thing, it's very determined, can't stop, won't stop. When I set my mind to something, I follow through. I am no quitter. That's what this card tells me. And even if it has to be me against the world, say the world there, and I wasn't even thinking of that, and it came out. This energy will do it. So this energy has no quit. But that's also the downside of it as well, because sometimes this card can be confrontational. Sometimes this card doesn't know when to stop pushing. So this is what I really want to look at the most when we start clarifying, because it's like if there is going to be a problem, if there is going to be a situation that needs our attention, it might come up when we have this. Other things with the seven of wands, sometimes it's an energy that could feel cornered or trapped or cabin fevery. And listen, Scorpio gang, I know I don't have to tell you, but just for any cross watchers, you never want to make a Scorpio feel cornered. Okay. As I say this as a Scorpio moon with the best intentions, never make a Scorpio feel cornered. Now, moving to the back end, we got the King of Cups. Beautiful. Our good pal here, King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups without a beard. He's sitting there chilling. Big Scorpio power card. Remember, it's not gender specific. And what do I always think about with Kings? They represent control of their respective suit. And we spoke about the cups and what they mean. So when I see the King of Cups, he's like, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm good. Like, I'm not affected one way or another. So it's like this nice energy that feels content to me. Now, there are a lot of other things. Now, in my simplistic style, this card could tell us something that's coming towards you or what you might be feeling. The King of Cups represent the big feelings, big emotions, the highest expressions of love and care. So it can be really fantastic. The King of Cups also likes to have a good time, right? There's a reason he has that goblet in hand. Throw a few back, right? So for some Scorpios, maybe you're enjoying yourself. Maybe Spirit wants you to take some time to smell the roses and have a good time. But the downside to the King of Cups ties in with the big feelings. Sometimes this energy feels things so strong that it can't control those things, right? And I know how hard it is to control emotions. So we're going to have to circle back on this. Now, on the back end, we do have the Eight of Cups. Classically, a lot of readers read this card as like walking away from something, potentially even giving up on something. To me, I just see it as an action card. And I said it since the beginning. It's like, oh, this energy is moving. This energy is rocking and rolling, which, again, I think is better than being stagnant. So we're going to have to see. And again, like this Eight of Cups is just another, energetic footnote. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Scorpio. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio gang. What do we got going on? There's a lot here. I feel like there's more underneath the surface. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that world. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio gang, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, world. Why is quick? Very first shuffle, this card pops out. Okay. This is absolutely an energy that is not forcing it. Like there's just something about this energy where it just moves natural, goes with the flow. I do see a very, very powerful shift or change of energy. Now, for some Scorpios, this could be an energy that's changing within you. Maybe a certain thing that you've been feeling, certain thing you've been wanting. Like to me, and again, with another Scorpio power card, it's like there's a change happening and I'm okay with it. I don't want to say it's like an acceptance. I'm okay with it. Uh, the Page of Cups has a lot of similarities to the King of Cups, except it's just like a newer, fresher version. So when I see a card of an ending with a new beginning card, it's like, yeah, there's just a shift or a change of cycle. So again, life is all about change. It's perpetual, but sometimes it's bigger and more important than others. So I think for a lot of Scorpios, in the midst of a metamorphosis or a change, right? And it feels pretty major, the next step, but it doesn't make me nervous. It really doesn't. So we're already seeing it. So again, whether it's within you, things that you're feeling, things that you're wanting, goals, aspirations, it could be all that stuff. Maybe even other people might be changing too, where it's like, all right, well, why are they changing if things stay the same? It's just so interesting to me, the way the energy is presenting itself, because to me, it does look much more big picture than usual. But we're just going to keep moving. The energy is shifting and changing. Now, the page could be a talk or a conversation of some kind. We'll see if we continue to get more signals for that as we move further. But to me, it is just representing a big, powerful metamorphosis happening. So, pressure makes diamonds, my good friends. And if anyone knows that, it would be Scorpio gang, right? Let's go in on that Seven of Wands, because that's really where I saw a pressure point. So why is that Seven of Wands here? Okay. All right, Scorpio. So we got the Eight of Wands in the upright underneath this Four of Wands. This energy is like hot under the collar for some reason. Again, hot's not a bad thing. For some Scorpios, maybe that's good. And this is another thing I've been seeing, uh, specifically in water signs, where there's a fiery energy. There's a increase of this action based, let's do it, let's make it happen type of vibe. So for some Scorpios, you might be much quicker to action, because this to me feels like I'm pouncing, right? Like when I see the seven of wands with the Eight of Wands, it's like, no, I don't even have to think about it. Boom, I'm pouncing right into action when it comes to something. So just know you might be very quick to decide. You might be very quick to act, or someone is. I think I've seen it in all the water signs, and it's here as well. It does feel hot under the collar for some reason. So the energy feels reactive. So again, whether that's you, whether you're overstimulated or you're just feeling things intensely, and it's like I'm very reactive to energy here. Now, again, I did say when it comes to the king back here, that could be non-reactive. So maybe we're seeing the little yin yang happening here. Worst case scenario with the Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands, this could be an energy that is very bothered. angry, upset about something. Like it does feel quite aggressive. Because like when I see the Seven of Wands with the Eight of Wands, it's like I'm verbally letting someone have it. Okay, so if there's someone or a situation that you've been biting your tongue about it and you've been trying not to say anything and keep your own thoughts to yourself, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. Yeah, that might all go out the damn window in this time, at least for somebody. We're going to keep moving. So we do have like this aggressive, upset, angry, mad type of energy, but I also don't think it's bad. It's just hot under the collar, too. So it doesn't have to be aggression. To me, it's just very, very, very quick to act, take action, and make moves. Let's go in on the king. So if there are things that you've been delaying or putting off or anything like that, now might be a very good time to knock out that to-do list. Let's go in on the king. Getting a lot of specifics here, Scorpio. So why is the King of Cups here? Okay. So we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So it's like, oh, why are you so mad? Like, why are you so mad? What are you so upset about? You got nothing to be upset about. I'm not a real huge fan of that, right? Like, yeah, I don't want to say this is like gaslighting. I don't want to go down that road. Like if you watch me on a regular basis, I'm not that type. I'm not going to call someone a gaslighter or anything like that. But it's like one energy is very hot under the collar and the other energy doesn't understand why that energy is upset. Where it's at least saying that's very specific. Only take it if it hits, my friends, because that is hyper specific. Now, another thing that was making me chuckle is like the relief I get here on the back end because it's like the energy builds up, the energy shifting, changing, pressure makes a diamond. Boom, we get this action right here in the center. And then it's like, I feel better now, where it's like a weight off the shoulder. So we got two different messages here. So again, watch out for someone that says like, hey, why are you so mad? You have no right to be upset. That's very specific, only for a few. But the others, it's like I'm relieved. So whether it's an action that someone takes, a talk that someone has, it's like when I finally let something out, I finally got it out of my system. I could breathe again. It's like one of those. Knight of Swords, if this was in the upright, I would be a little more concerned because then I would be seeing energies going at each other, right? Um, Knight of Swords can also be very quick to act, quick to action, very aggressive. So when I see it in reverse underneath the King of Cups, it's like very unbothered. So very specific this week, Scorpio. So I'm hoping that this is relief that someone feels at some point. Hopefully, this isn't somebody that's really bothered and someone, and who knows? I know there's a million different situations going on out there, but it's like this energy is super hot under the collar, super bothered, and this one is just like la 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 la, like everything's fine. Listen, I'm all about being optimistic and putting a silver lining on things. Let's go through and do a quick recap. A lot of people showing up here as well. So not all this has to be yours, but if you kindly look in the box, Scorpio, we got the world with the Page of Cups. Cool. It's like I'm fine with this. There could be a very big, powerful metamorphosis or change. So whether it's within you or without of you, there's like pressure making a diamond here through this change or shift. Moving to the middle, we have the Seven of Wands with the Eight of Wands. This energy is like very hot under the collar, very hot and heavy. Now, for some Scorpios, this could be very reactive. So if there's things you've been putting off for a while, now might be a good time to bang that all out. For others, this could be someone that's just like a little aggressive, angry, or mad, and they just let loose. That's very possible. But to the back end, we have the King of Cups with the Knight of Swords. And I was like, but why are you so mad? Why are you so upset? So, like, there could be an anger that's upset, an energy that's upset, but one that either doesn't understand it or is like a little gaslighty, where it's like, you don't, why are you so upset? You have no reason to be upset. It's like one of those. Um, but it also felt like relief as well, where it's like after this, we have the pressure build, we have the explosion, and then we have the release afterwards. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Scorpio gang? What do we got? Thank you. Cool. Ace of Swords. So I want to bring your attention back, way, way back to maybe about 20 minutes ago when we saw this card in the very beginning. And remember, I said, oh, this is very reminiscent and similar to the Ace of Swords. And then we get the Ace of Swords to bookend and cap off this reading. Now, again, what is the Ace of Swords? It's the sword of truth. So when I see this in the shadows, this is a card that does cut through any BS or illusion, which I think is usually a good thing. So for some Scorpios, there could be a situation where it's like, no, I'm seeing this clearly. No, I know what this is. I know what's going on and I know how to handle it. Like, so if you're looking for clarity or there's certain things you're confused about, you're probably going to receive it real soon if you don't have it already. But again, with the Ace of Swords, that could also be a very sharp tongue. And with what we saw right here in the center, that hot and heavy, hot under the collar type of energy, just, yeah, watch out with the communication because this energy will definitely let someone have it, so to speak. So the very, very intriguing reading, as always, right, Scorpio gang? We're going to put that down right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the April subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice winner's choice once again. At the end of the month, I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to either win their choice of the Gilded Tarot Royale or one of the custom-made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So winner's choice. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, you can let me know down in the comments, how much do you know about the meanings of tarot cards? Are you an expert reader? Are you a beginner, intermediate? Do you know a lot? Do you know a little? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. YouTube changed it. And yeah, that's where it'll be, my friends. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.